You are now tuned in to the Dads Who Lift podcast. Please give us a like, share, subscribe to the YouTube account. We are on www.dadswholiftofficial.com. All the podcast links are in there. We also have an apparel line. We're on IG as Dads Who Lift Official handle. We're on Facebook, Dads Who Lift Podcast. We also have a Dads Who Lift fitness group on Facebook that's Dads Who Lift Official. A group of 30,000 like-minded dads that are just trying to be their best selves and staying fit. If that's something you're into, please check it out. But we do this stuff for free, guys, so please give us a like, share, 5-star review. We really appreciate your support.
You are now tuned in to the Dads Who Live podcast. You have your host, Tyler Gaeta.
Co-host, Joel Staley.
So we got our Dads Who Lift group, Dads Who Lift Official, is currently shut down.
Disabled.
Yeah. For anybody that's wondering what the fuck's going on, basically Facebook came in, said that our group went against their community standards for groups. I don't even remember what the fuck.
I just keep telling people, I keep getting a ton of PMs about it. I'm like, they don't like a bunch of alpha males gathering, dude.
Right.
They're trying to keep us separated.
Trying to keep us down. But yeah, so they disabled our group. We appealed it, and it's in the appeal process, but like, dude, Facebook gives no fucks at all. Like, There's not even, you click appeal button. You don't even like get to talk to anybody or like write an essay or like write like, anything on our part. I don't even know if they're going to come back in the appeal process and like ask us questions or anything. I don't even know.
They haven't even told us why, really.
No.
They shut us down. I mean, we're guessing, but.
Yeah, it's appealed. And then there's been nothing since then. It just says basically like, we'll review it and get back to you whenever the fuck we please.
Big tech, bro.
Yeah.
Big brother. We knew they were coming.
And we've heard that it's been like, it's taken months for other groups that have gotten appealed to be either win or not win or whatever. So, yeah. It's funny how like censorship in this world is just getting fucking insane, dude. And it's like, censorship in this world is getting insane. And I mean, we've had fucking podcasts that we posted on Facebook too that have been kicked off Facebook, not been able to be promoted. Like, shit is just getting wild, dude.
You know what we talk about all the time though is in business or with anything, once you build something once, it's nice, but you also get that factor of, oh nice, I've done this once, I can do it again. Like, it's not ideal for them to shut our shit down, but at the same time, I'm not losing sleep because it's like, okay, well, we'll just keep coming back. We've learned so much over the last few years of doing it.
Yeah.
That we can just keep growing it and growing it.
It just sucks for a group to get up to 50,000 and then you just get it ripped away in like a day. There wasn't even warnings. It wasn't even like, hey, warning, motherfuckers, you crossed the line here or whatever. Like, we're getting ready to shut you down. It was just like all of a sudden one day, boom, disabled.
I thought I was getting spammed. I was in the middle of a call and it just came across my screen. I got a notification that's like, your Dads Who Lift group has been disabled. I was like, okay, let me guess. I got to click a link, and then some Indian guy calls me. It's like, oh no, this is legit. I can't get into the group.
Yeah, you texted me and you were like, sent me the deal, and at first I was like, oh, he's just fucking with me. And you're like, this is not a joke. It's not a drill. I'm in the middle of a call, but I'll call you as soon as I can. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, we have like 30, 40,000 emails. And so we have a backup group in place right now that you can join if you're a part of the original Dads Who Lift Official. Any man, any male that's a dad can join it that lifts. But it's called Dads Who Lift Official Backup right now. There's a few hundred guys in there. We haven't really started promoting it yet just because we don't know what's going on with the appeal. But if this appeal is going to take this fucking long and we don't even get anything back or any guidance or anything from Facebook, we're probably just going to change the name to the Dads Who Lift Official Backup group to like,
can't keep us down.
Yeah, Dads Who Lift Official won't stop, can't stop, won't stop.
Full repping motherfuckers.
That's it. Oh, there you go. I like that. Dads Who Lift Official, full repping motherfuckers. I like that. So we'll probably do that and then just start this new group and we'll hit out some emails and get it rolling. I'm sure it'll take off no problem.
Yeah, and we were talking about keeping some of the riffraff, being more choosy about who we bring in too. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Who knows? Yeah,
man, I'd rather have a group. There was definitely some douchebags out of that 50,000 people, and I'm all for having fun. Having fun's great. I love having fun. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're staying focused on actually growing and being better fathers, better versions of ourselves, better dads, at least getting fucking stronger in the gym, something that's growth minded. So I'd rather have a group of 30,000 guys that are actually core value guys that are moving forward and wanting to fucking better themselves than a group of 50,000 assholes, you know? So
all day.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be more selective moving forward. That's for damn sure. So to get into this topic of this podcast, though, I wanted to get into winning, man. And if I'm going to call it winner's circle or what we're going to call it, something to do with winning. But the whole fact of the matter is I've found myself lately being unmotivated, and happens to everybody, you know, and I feel like life's all about ebbs and flows, you know. But I think about motivation. I think about when I fall on my face. Even this morning, you were talking about like killing it right now. I've set a lot of goals. I don't meet all of them, but at least I'm moving forward. You know, I'm waking up early. I'm getting my shit done. I have habits set in place, so I haven't ever stopped, you know, which is a good thing. A lot of people get unmotivated and they'll completely fall on their face and quit doing everything. That doesn't happen with me. But there's still things where I'm like, man, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I have more potential here. I have more potential there. I can do better here. I can do better there. And I know that I'm not giving life or myself all that I have. You know what I'm saying? And so when I think about when I get unmotivated, man, what it really comes down to, whenever I get into a place where I'm like unhappy with my life is really what it comes down to. That's where the motivation comes from. And so motivation is being unhappy with something in your life. Like motivation is wanting a change, like wanting to change something in your life. Something doesn't feel good. You know, you know that you can do better in this area, or you just simply want more out of your life. That's where motivation comes from. You know, setting goals. That's motivation. And that's not a bad thing. You know, I used to look at these things and say, you know, why am I always striving for more? Why do I not feel full? Why isn't it ever enough? You know what I mean? Like I used to look at that as a bad thing, as if there was something wrong with me. No, dude, use that shit for your fuel. Use that shit for your fire. There's nothing wrong with you in that regard to always want more, to always want to strive to be more, to always want to grow, and to always want more out of life. It's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like for me to look at something and say, all right, I want more out of this situation, or I want more out of this life, or I want more just from me in general, or I know that I have more to give, you know, to be able to feel that lack in those areas and turn that into a power, turn that into my motivation and say, all right, this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to set these goals. I'm going to move forward. Like I'm going to use this as my fuel and my fucking drive, because I know that I want more out of life to get after it. Right. From that point, once you do figure out, hey, this shit isn't working for me, this isn't enough, I want this, this, and this, I can have it. Then you do set those goals. You do get motivated. That's when you do push yourself forward. You know what I mean? And to me, motivation's only like the first fucking starting step. You know, you have to feel that lack. I feel like you have to want more. You have to find that fuel somewhere. Every single person has to find that fuel somewhere. Wherever you find that fuel, then you drive this motivation, then you set goals. And the motivation is a great fucking starter. Motivation gets you off and running, right? Where you succeed is discipline and habits. You know, once you can get that motivation, that fire, then you get this discipline set in. You set goals for what you want in your life. You form habits to achieve these goals that you do every single day. All right, every single day I'm going to do this, this, and this to set me forward to my goal. And then you have discipline and you stick with that shit. And motivation's fleeting. Motivation isn't always going to be there, because guess what? I feel like I'm lacking right now, so I'm motivated. But once I start doing all these things that motivation brings and I start achieving, then I no longer feel like I'm lacking as much. So I'm not as motivated.
Then you start dipping.
Right. And so that's where the habits and the discipline come into effect. You have to be disciplined. You have to set habits. You have to set things in action that your body is used to doing, that your mind, body, and soul are used to doing, that you will continue to do to propel you forward down the road. And I'll say, like, one of the biggest things that I've realized that I've lost lately, and I think has was a big determining factor on my lack of motivation, was my fucking morning routine. I lost my morning routine. Yeah. Like I started waking up, I still was at work at 7 a.m. every day, like not late to work or anything like that. But I quit waking up at 5:30 every morning, quit doing my yoga before work, quit doing my meditation before work, quit doing my manifesting before work. You know, some days I'd wake up 15 minutes before work, roll out of bed, brush my teeth real quick, throw on clothes, and walk. You know, I'm blessed enough to have my shop at my house on my acreage and just walk down to my shop, you know, but that morning routine sets me up for the whole day to win. When I get that morning routine set and I say, all right, this is what I like in my morning routine. This is what I want to do. This is what feels good to me. This is how I like to start my day. And I can do that. I'm starting the day with a win. I already feel accomplished. When I hit the snooze button and I let that motherfucker roll till 6:30 or 6:45, I already wake up feeling like a failure. Even though I'm not late to work, I still wake up feeling like a failure. But when I don't succumb to my little bitch voice and I fucking get up at 5:30 and my alarm goes off, or 5 or 4 or whatever time it is, and I get up and I actually get my shit going, I'm starting with a win. You know what I mean? And what ends up happening is, like, when I fuck up my morning routine, then I have set days, right? So from 7 a.m. to 5 is work. But then say I didn't wake up early enough to get my manifesting in. Well, I still want to get my manifesting in. So then I do my manifesting from like 8 to 8:30 or 9 after I drop the kid off of school. So I'm taking time out of my work day to get my extracurricular shit done to get my mind right, you know, which then makes me feel like even more of a failure because I didn't get as much work done that day, you know. The morning routine to me, honestly, I think is the biggest part to keeping me going and keeping me rolling and everything as far as success. But this is the whole thing, man. It's a cumulative process to win. And there's so much shit that goes into it, but it really does start from just staying on track, right? Yeah, so that's what I wanted to get into.
I was thinking about this yesterday, and I think about it quite a bit because I've told you before, I go in ebbs and flows too. And the times that I am waking up early, I'm getting all my stuff in, I'm motivated, I feel great all day, I'm sticking to my diet. It's always times that I have a very set agenda of what I need to get done. So right now I'm trying to launch this new business, and it is like so much work. So it used to be when, all right, I got to wake up, I got to take Kennedy to daycare at some point, I need to hit the gym at some point, take sales calls at some point. I woke up and I didn't have a set plan. And that's when I find myself sleeping in, hitting snooze. But now when my alarm goes off at 4:45, my first thought is, oh God, I have all this shit I got to get done. And then I get right out of bed, I get on it, and that just sets the momentum for the day. So I was thinking, it's crazy how my happiest times and my most productive times, I'm always working on something and it's got a deadline and I know that I need to get after it. In those times that I don't really have a whole lot that I'm working on, I'm more just coasting, then I am sleeping in, then my workouts get worse, affects my diet, I'm complacent. And then I also find myself drinking more, I'm not as happy, I'm not as fulfilled. So for me specifically, just having a goal with a specific deadline has seemed to be the most surefire way for me to not only be happy, but win in life, like we're talking about. So that's what I would say. If you find yourself, that's the big one, is people say, yeah, I want to wake up earlier and I want to be motivated. Everything you're saying, it sounds awesome. I just can't do it. The first place I would look at is, all right, what are you working on that you're excited about, you know needs to be done? And if you don't have anything, what could you work towards? Because when you don't have anything to work towards, that's when you just start doing shit out of boredom or out of whatever.
I think what this all starts with and comes down to, though, is striving for more in life. And what do you accept in life? Like, are you just going to accept the bare minimum out of life, or are you going to strive for everything that you want and that your deepest desires? And do you believe that you can have them? You know, like, that's the big thing. It's such a fucking short life. I'm already 32 years old, and it's been like a blink of the eye, you know? My son's already 10 years old, and it's been like the blink of the eye. And none of it's guaranteed. I mean, I could die tomorrow. I could die in 5 years. I could die in 10 years. I could live to be 90. Who the fuck knows? So where do you want your life to be? What do you see out of your life? What I tell people, man, I actually told, I have a friend of mine that's been struggling lately with depression and things, and just kind of guidance in life, really, and not knowing where to go. And what I told him to do is I said, listen, man, shut your eyes and picture your dream life. No limitations, 0 limitations at all. Picture your dream life. Run through it. Just shut your eyes and picture if you hit the lottery tomorrow, what would your life look like? or maybe it's not even about money. You know, you get the family that you've always dreamed of, whatever it is, shut your eyes and picture that. Right. And then I told them, all right, now write like a 1-page fucking, this is part of my manifest, but I said, just take a spiral notebook, a piece of paper, write 1 page that summarizes that, whatever you saw when you shut your eyes, you know? And if you want to get into manifesting, what I do every day is then I read that page like 3 different times and I shut my eyes and I actually picture that shit all the way through, from beginning to end, my whole manifest of what I see in my dream future. And I take my time. I take like 30 minutes when I manifest this, 20 to 30 minutes. And I throw manifestation music on. I love to do it in my truck, so no one's messing with me, you know, in a peaceful, you know, maybe park at the park or some shit. And turn my manifestation music on, and I just run through that in my mind. And I picture everything. I see everything. I feel everything. I smell things. You know, I feel things. I touch things like it's real life, like it's there. And that's how I see it, is like it is there. Not like it's in the future, or I may have that. I see it as if I already have it. And that's how I manifest. And that to me does multiple things. One, it shows you what you really want out of life. It shows you where your dream life is, or what your dream life is, so that you don't accept less. Right. And 2, it gets me to believe that I can have it. And not only that I can have it, that I already have it. It just hasn't happened yet, which is a really weird thought. But I think where a lot of people fall short is they don't even ask themselves the question of, what is my dream life? What do I want this life to be? A lot of people just go through the fucking motions and roll through things. And I've got this, you know, I like my dog, and I've got an okay family, or I've got an okay job, and, you know, I drive an okay car. And it's like, I'm taken care of. I'm not struggling. I'm eating. I get to go to the gym every day. I'm doing okay, you know? But it's like, is that what you truly want? Because you can have anything that you truly want. And life is so short. Like, do you want to wait till you're towards the end and then say, damn, I wish I would have fucking done more of my life. I wish I would have experienced more of my life. I wish I would have had more love in my life. I wish I would have taken more opportunities or more chances in life. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I just really feel like I didn't live to my fucking full potential. I don't ever want to say that shit, you know? So for me, I'm blessed because I have that vision already. And so that I can use that. And like I said, I get to a place of feeling like I'm fucking up, lack, like it's not enough. I know that I'm not putting in everything that I should, or that I can, or that my soul has to offer to achieve these things that I want. And then I turn that feeling of, you know, really it's pain, right? That feeling of pain and like, just like not enough and just emptiness into my fuel to be the baddest motherfucker that I can be, to move forward and kill my fucking goals, to give everything that I have out of myself every single day to push forward and achieve what I want to achieve. But like I said, you got one fucking life. It's not that long. People just need to wake the fuck up and realize that life is 100% what you make it.
Dude, I'll be curious of your thought on this. This has been really motivating for me the last couple of years as I've just started figuring this out, because I used to be the type of person, like I think a lot of people are, where you look at very successful people and then you look at where you're currently at and then you think, oh, they must have this benefit, they must have that talent, whatever it is. But what I have found out since going all in on basically myself and my business is that really, if you want to grow and you want to win, that alone, that puts you in the top 50%. Mm-hmm. Because you just assume everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to have their best life. Everyone wants to be healthy and make money and do good for themselves. But that's really not true. There's so many people with the victim mindset. Yeah. It's their identity, and they don't want to win. So just wanting to be successful automatically puts you in the top half. Willing to work towards those goals puts you in the top 25%. And if you're willing to work your ass off for those goals, then that'll put you anywhere between in the top 1% and the top 5%, depending on how hard you are going to work, your talent, maybe circumstance, stuff like that. But just knowing that just by wanting to grow and be a better person, like I'm already in the top half, and the more work that I can put into that, the more successful I can be. That alone it's almost like a sigh of relief. Like, oh, I do want to win. I know that. I think about it every day. I know I'm willing to do the work. Am I the most talented when it comes to some stuff? Definitely not. But shit, if I can work my ass off and get it in the top 5%, I mean, I'll be very happy.
So you don't have to have any fucking special abilities to win. Obviously, it helps. Like, if you have natural abilities and you focus on those natural abilities and develop those natural abilities, obviously you're probably a little bit more ahead. But I'm not anything special. I'm not smarter than anybody else. I'm not anything more than anybody else. That's
the craziest part. I think about that shit all the time.
One of the things that came to mind when you were talking about that is the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset.
That's it.
And fixed mindset says that when you fuck up, you are not worthy. You base yourself on basically natural ability. You base yourself, if you're in a fixed mindset, you base yourself on natural ability.
Yeah.
When I feel like I'm good at things, then I feel like I am enough. I feel like I am a full person or a good person, or I have a lot to offer. But whenever I fuck up on anything, then I feel like I am junk. I feel like I'm shit. That's a fixed mindset. Growth mindset says, okay, when I fuck up, this is a good thing. I get to use this as an ability to become better, or as an opportunity to become better. I failed that fucking test, but guess what? That sucks, but guess what? I'm gonna study harder. Now I know what I need to focus on, and I'm going to use that to be a smarter person and a better person at the ability of taking this test or this knowledge or whatever's on the test, and I'm going to come back and kill it next time. That's growth mindset. And not having any specific, you don't have to have specific abilities to be able to win. All that you have to have is the fucking drive to succeed and not stop. You're going to fail. You're going to fuck up all the time. But if you can take that failure and turn it into a growth and overcome it and have that growth mindset of, okay, this sucks. This is a really shitty fucking situation, but how can I turn this into something to make me a better person so that I can succeed better next time? That's what it takes to win. You don't fucking stop. You have the drive, you have the motivation, you have great habits that you formed, you're disciplined in your habits, and you never stop. That's really all that it takes. Like, you can fail a million times, and on your 1,000,001st time, you succeed and make $1 million, or whatever the goal may be, you succeed at it. You know, like, there's stories all over the place of that. I mean, you can look anywhere. I was listening to a clip from David Goggins this morning when I was on the way driving here to the studio, and he talks about how he has learning disabilities.
Yeah.
How he is fucking like, he calls himself stupid. He's like, I'm not smart. I have learning disabilities. I wasn't put in school as a child. Like, it's hard for me to learn. And he's talking about how he, when he took his diving course or whatever, you know, there was a 1,000-page manual on this diving course in Navy SEALs. And, you know, the smart guys would just fucking go try to take the test to see if they could pass it. He's like, I knew I couldn't pass it. There's no way. I'm not smart. I don't learn like that. So he said the way that he learns is he has to take every single page and write it out 10 different times. So he said he had 10,000 pages, just hundreds of spiral notebooks full. 18 months to prepare for this test, just 10,000 pages. He wrote every single page out of that 1,000-page book or whatever 10 times.
It's nuts.
And that was how he learned and achieved and passed that test. That's not ability. That's hard work, and that's growth mindset. That's not taking failure as an option. That's moving forward no matter what. That's focusing on your negatives and turning them into strengths.
I feel like growth mindset is literally just tacking on yet to the end of whatever limiting belief you have. I'm not good at podcasting, right? If you say that and you take it, oh, I'm a person who's not good at podcasting, I'll never be good at podcasting. Or if you say I'm not good at podcasting yet, it implies, okay, I might not be the best when we first get going, but I am going to hone my craft, get better, make it a priority, and then someday I will be. Or I'm not 7% body fat.
Right.
If you hear that, oh, I'm just a chubbier guy.
Right.
That's fixed mindset. If you say I'm not 6% body fat yet, that implies, but hey, if I work hard, I diet hard, I get the knowledge I need to get there, I can get there. And that's really just all it is. I don't understand how people have fixed mindsets, but I think a lot of it does boil down to how we're parented as kids.
100%. Yeah, how we were brought up.
Yeah, and I know you make it a priority to tell your boy he can do everything he wants and he's the best and all that stuff. So that alone is implanting that growth mindset in him. And like you said, once you have that, you do nothing else, you're going to be okay. But just wanting to win is huge, and then putting the steps in to execute and actually win, that's the rest of it. It's the 2-step formula.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I'm with you. For me, it's just having a task I can sink my teeth into and just tackle the fuck out of it. Because if I don't have anything going on, I feel like I'm just coasting through life, kind of like you said earlier. I'm like, okay, I could do this, do that. But when I have a task that needs to get done and it's a priority for me, I can work on that shit. I can get obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember who it was that, you know who it was. It was Fletcher, CJ Fletcher. He's got an old quote that really resonated with me. And it's like, if you don't have the mental capacity to become obsessed with something, then you're never going to win. And that hit me because I'm like, oh, man, whenever, if I'm going to compete in a show, I get obsessed with it. Every calorie, every gram of protein, every workout, I get obsessed. If it comes to, of course, business, obsessed. Anything that I want to get good at, it's not, okay, well, I'm going to dip my toe and hopefully it works out. It's, no, I'm going to get obsessed with it. And seeing that I wasn't the only one that felt that way. And in fact, that is a necessary trait if you want to get to the tippy top of the winner's circle. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, oh, man, that's a good sign because I find myself getting obsessed with a lot of stuff I'm passionate about.
Right. Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's your life, man. Yeah. You know, like life is 100% what you make it. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. Life is what you make it. And I want everybody that listens to this podcast, I want everybody that tunes into this podcast, if you're listening to this shit, you're already a growth mindset. You're already wanting to win. And I want everybody here to win. Like I said, I think that it really, like a lot of people just need to wake the fuck up. You know, figure out what your dream life looks like. Figure out what you're capable of. Figure out not even what you're capable of, but what is inside you. What do you have to give? What feels good? Like, where are your limits? And as David Goggins would say, we don't really have limits. Like, limits are man-made, you know? I mean, that motherfucker talks about running a race of 100 miles where the last 30 his kidneys were shutting down and he was shitting his pants and pissing blood and had fractures in his legs, and he fucking taped them up and still made the last 30 miles, you know? Limitations are set by our mind. Like, we're really not limited, and you really can achieve and create anything in this world that you want to, anything in this life that you want to. All the other shit is just excuses. Oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. Oh, I need to do this before I can do this. Oh, I need to finish that before I can start this. No, man, it's not true. You can start anything that you want in your life today. You can get rolling on anything that you want in your life today, and you can achieve anything that you want in your life today. What do they say? They say, basically what I'm saying, whenever you shut your eyes and whatever you see for your future, whatever your deepest desire is, you just spend an hour a day on it minimum. Don't wait for 6 months down the road, or don't wait till, oh, I got to do this first, then I'll get to that. Schedule 1 hour a day and work on it. Start working on it. And down the road, it'll come.
CT Fletcher. Did I say CJ?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but definitely CT Fletcher. The other thing I was going to say is, if you are unclear on that, first step could be just finding somebody you look up to that you want to be closer to their position. Write down where you're at right now in all aspects of life. Write down where they are, or where at least you perceive them to be, where you ultimately want to go. And then ask yourself, take the Socratic method and just ask yourself the questions. All right, why do I want to get there? What's going to happen if I stay stuck where I'm at, or God forbid, I get worse? Because the unfortunate reality, and you'll learn this when you start selling your program, is people aren't prompted to take action from a place of growth. More often than not, it's a place of pain and the avoidance of pain that they're actually going to take action and get motivated. 100%. So even though your pain is as small as I'm not living up to my full potential, for a lot of people, that wouldn't be enough. But you're such a growth-minded go-getter that you're like, oh, man, I'm in pain. I don't feel like I'm fulfilling what I could be. That's enough for you to get motivated. But for some guys, say you're 50 pounds overweight. You've gained 50 pounds in the last 10 years. All right, well, what if the next 10 years are just like the last 10 years? You gain another 50 pounds. What would your life look like then? All right, on the other end of the paper, what would happen if you lost those 50 pounds? You got that confidence. Your wife did want to have sex with you and you felt attractive. You had all that extra energy. What would that do for you? And you have to write this stuff out and really find the driving purpose, find your why, because if your desire to quit is stronger than your reason of why you want to be successful, you'll quit every fucking time. So it's one thing knowing where you want to go, and it's also a major thing that you need to know why you want to get there. And on the flip side, what's going to happen if you never get there, or God forbid, you just stay on the same path you're on right now and continue to get worse.
I want to piggyback on something you said too, man. Growth never happens out of happiness. Growth never happens. Growth is always uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That's where growth happens. When you're uncomfortable, you're growing. And that's something that's really hard for a lot of people to see and deal with, because when we're uncomfortable, we feel like we're not growing. We feel like we're fucking up. We feel like we're not achieving enough. We feel like things aren't going well. But when you're in that place, that's when you truly are growing. And Andy Frisella, on one of his recent podcasts, he actually named it, which I really like this. He called it the gauntlet. He said, when you're in that place of growth and, you know, you've gotten to that place to where you know what you want, you figured out what you want, you've seen your future, but now you're in the moments of making it happen, and it's uncomfortable, and you fail and you get back up and you get knocked down. You have to get back up and you have to keep moving. You're starting a business, you're growing a business, you're starting a family, you're growing a family. You're in uncharted waters. You're trying to do things that you have not yet done. That's uncomfortable. That's the gauntlet. But that is honestly where the magic happens. Like, that's probably the most impactful place, even though you don't see it because it doesn't feel like it, that you're going to be. You know, a lot of these guys look back, and I've heard multiple people look back, and successful people like billionaires that have made it, and they look back at the moment where they were in their gauntlet, where they were building every day, struggling every day. Like you're talking about waking up at 4 a.m. every day to try to get this program going. They look back at those days and they say, those were my best days. Yeah. Even though I didn't know it then, it felt like shit then. I was at my best. I was fucking driving. I was thriving. I was doing everything I could in my power to get what I wanted. Those were my best days. So what I say is something I've really been thinking about lately is when you're a growth-minded person, you really get into this growth-minded area where nothing is ever good enough. You always want more. It's not even really that nothing's ever good enough, but you always want more out of yourself. I don't know how to say it. You know, you set a goal, you reach a goal. By the time you reach that goal, the goal's already changed, and it's greater, it's bigger, it's better. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But when you're in that area where you're always wanting more, and you're always looking for more, and you're always growing, you're always crazy growing every single day, you're going to get fucking punched in the dick every day. Like, growth is getting punched in the dick. So if you really want to be the best of the best and the elite and live this life where every single day you're becoming a better version of yourself, which to me in itself feels amazing. Like, I love knowing that every single day I gave it my all, and that I'm growing to be a better person every single day, to be a better version of myself. Even if it's the smallest fucking little tweak or change, man, I'm better today than I was yesterday, right? There comes an achievement and a power from that, but there also comes it's still growth. So you're still going to feel like you're getting kicked in the dick at times in that day. And if you're going to be that person and you want to be the elite and you want to fucking win and you want to get to this area where nobody else is at, you're going to have to get comfortable with getting kicked in the dick every single day. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in this area where I'm growing every single day, and sometimes it feels good, sometimes it doesn't. And there's parts of every day where it doesn't always feel the best. And I'm sitting here like, man, why does this happen every single day? That's why. Because growth is uncomfortable. So you got to get to a place to where you're able to look past that uncomfortability and see the results, see what's coming from it, and appreciate it more than you fucking think about that uncomfortability and that getting kicked in the balls.
I've found personally I'm either comfortable or I'm truly happy. It's never both. either I'm comfortable and I'm coasting, but then in the back of my mind, like you said, like, oh man, I'm capable of so much more. I could be doing this, I could be doing that, but you know what? I'm just going to chill here, do this, but I'm not really happy. I know in the back of my head, there's like a little itch of like.
Well, when I'm truly happy, I am in the growth. I'm not in the complacency.
But then when I have something going on and I'm uncomfortable because I'm waking up early, I'm spreading myself too thin. That's what I'm saying. That's when I'm really in the back of my head. I'm like, yeah, that was a rough day, but you know what? You did it.
You fucking won.
Yeah.
And it feels amazing to win at the end of that day. Yeah. That is true happiness. Like to get through those hurdles and come out on top. Even though you might have fallen a couple times, you got back up and you still came out on top. Like you got kicked in the dick a couple times, but you still got back up and you still came out on top. That's happiness to me.
Agree. 100%.
You know, so that's what I'm saying is that you just have to look at that and become comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Man, did you see that I don't want to end it yet. I was going to ask you if you see the Catch Me Outside girl.
No.
Got an OnlyFans. She made $1 million in 6 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Just turned 18.
Jesus Christ. All right, I think we're going to end it on that note. But no.
I didn't subscribe. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Joel definitely subscribed. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's it, man. Winner's Circle, Winner's Royale, whatever the fuck we're going to call this. We just want you guys to win, and I want to win. And
be happy. You're not going to be happy if you're not going over this.
I'm sharing my fucking struggle, my pain, my successes, my everything with you guys. So that hopefully you can take, and same with Joel. So hopefully you can take this shit and turn it into success in your own life, and you can win as well. And that's really all that we want. We're just trying to add value. So if you guys got anything from this podcast, please give us a like, share, 5-star review. Please tell a friend. We want to grow this thing organically. You tell one friend, they'll tell a friend. That's really all that we ask of you. If you got any value at all, just please tell a friend and like, share, 5-star review. It definitely never hurts. We are on Instagram as Dads Who Lift Official. We are on Facebook as Dads Who Lift Podcast. Right now, our Dads Who Lift
how this was going to go.
Is disabled and being appealed. So right now, if you want to follow us, you can check us out on the Instagram or the Facebook for the actual Dads Who Lift podcast. Dads Who Lift Official on Instagram, Dads Who Lift podcast on Facebook. We do have a backup group right now that we'll probably be promoting and changing in the near future if something doesn't happen with our appeal shortly. Right now, that's called Dads Who Lift Official Backup if you want to check that out as well. Fucking win, guys. Kill it.
It's forever. You know, this life is forever. No surrender. It's forever. You know, this life is forever. I ain't bigger dead than alive. Bigger dead than alive. I ain't bigger dead than alive. Dead than alive. Yeah. I ain't bigger dead than alive. Bigger dead than alive.